Okay, there we go. Hello, everybody. All right. Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, Instagram. We're just waiting for people to pop on in. I am going to quickly put on just a little bit of lip color just because I'm a little washed out without it today. I'm just going to pop some lip balm on. And then I'll be right back. This is technically a tinted lip balm, but it's like so barely tinted. It's just a really nice like tiny wash of color. There we go. That's better. Not a huge difference, just a little bit of color just because my lips are looking pretty crusty, pretty faded, pretty washed out. So I just wanted to like bring them back to life a little bit. All right. Hello, good morning, Belinda. Hello. Good morning. All right, give everyone a few more seconds to join and we should be ready right away. Also, it actually doesn't really show up on camera, but I did get some new tattoo on Thursday last week, and I still have my second skin bandage on, which I was worried you'd be able to see it. It's right on the front of my shin here, but not really. Like maybe if I got really close to the camera, but if you see like a weird like sheen on my leg, it's because I still have the second skin bandage on my shin, and that's why. And if it looks like weirdly darker on my shin compared to the others, it's because they are like fresh, so that's why. But no, I was a little worried that they'd be like really obvious looking, but on the camera it doesn't actually like show up that bad, so we're good to go. Okay, it's been about 2 minutes. I think we are just going to go ahead and dive right in. We have a bit of a lighter week this week for Plus. I think part of that is because we still haven't decided our Friday evening launch yet, so I do have a Saturday launch to show off for everybody though, but throughout the week it's kind of like the last couple of weeks. Most of our Plus is going to be concentrated on today's daily drop because that's my day to show things off, and then just a couple pieces throughout the week, and then I'll show the Friday, or the Saturday drop that we have going on. So for those that don't know, my name is Michelle. I am the 3X model here at Lavender and Lace Boutique. I typically wear a size 3X top and bottoms. I wear a 18W in Judy Blues and a 2X/3X in the shorts, depending on the style and everything. For height-wise, I'm 6'1", so I am very tall, and I wear a 44C bra, so I'm a little bit smaller chested than other folks who are a size 3X, but I make up for it by having very broad shoulders. So with that, we might as well get started. So I will start off with all of the Tuesday daily drops, so everything that I'm trying on for the first kind of chunk of my live here will be going live on the website today at 1 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time. I almost said standard. You'd think it's been enough weeks now and I haven't messed it up that I'd be good, but no, I had to think. So everything I'm about to try on will be going live at 1 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. So let's start with this super cute little flutter sleeve tee that I have here. This is the Katie floral ruffle top in teal and scarlet. This one is retailing for $39, and it's available in sizes small through 3X, with the median size being a 1X as opposed to an extra large for this one. This one definitely fits very true to size. I'm just attempting to find the size notes. Yeah, we all agree it is a slightly relaxed fit, but still true to size. We are all wearing our typical sizes, so Christine in the small, Carrie is in the medium, Melissa wears the 1X, and I'm in my typical 3X for this one. It is a poly spandex blend, and it is just your nice typical jersey knit kind of t-shirt. This one is the brand Haptics, and if you've had one of their poly spandex like jersey knit type t-shirts, you'll know that they're just a little bit softer than others. They have that really nice almost like brushed feel to them, and this top is no exception. Of course, we have the gorgeous little flutter sleeves, which I am always obsessed with. I love this deep teal color that we have for the background on this floral pattern. And then so it's teal and scarlet because we do have these like bright ruby red, kind of scarlet red pops of florals here with these more muted blues and some yellows, but the red is definitely that pop. I don't normally think to pair teal and red, but these do actually work really well together. I think because this is more of an orange based red, there is that really nice like contrast, and they do go really well together. We can see it's a little bit more of a relaxed fit. It's not like a very like form-fitted t-shirt, but it's not like oversized or too loose either. It's just a really nice flow that just kind of skims over the curves. If we turn to the side, we can see that everything is the same length front and back, and it doesn't have any scoops or anything on the side. It is just straight front and back. And then it has, you know, typical t-shirt back neckline, and you can see that that ruff goes all the way around the back as well, and that gorgeous pattern is throughout the entire top as well. It's just so pretty, very tropical spring summer vibes for sure, and we're seeing a lot of that. Like pretty much the entire Tuesday daily drop is like bright colors, florals, just super fun warm weather vibes. So again, this is the Katie Floral Ruffle Top in teal and scarlet for this one. $39, sizes small through 3X. Everyone is wearing their typical sizes, and that includes myself in my usual 3X. All right, we have two other tops, the shorts, and we have a dress actually too. So I'll do the shorts right now. I'll just kind of tuck this one up, and then we'll do the two other tops, and then we'll switch to the dress. Let's do for these shorts. I'll just kind of, I don't even think I have to like tie it. I think if I just kind of like tuck it up under itself like that, there we go. Now we can see everything. That should work. All right, so these are from Judy Blue, of course. These are the high-rise back flat pocket Bermuda shorts, aka the Lucas. I find it interesting these are called Bermuda shorts because I feel like they're kind of a little bit shorter than a Bermuda short, but they're longer than like a short. So they're like Bermuda light, I guess is what I would consider these. They are definitely like longer than just like a typical denim short. So I guess they're like more Bermuda than not. It could also just be the fact that I am, you know, 6'1" and have a 35-inch inseam that they don't look quite as Bermuda on me. I bet if I looked at KP and then they probably look a little bit more like Bermuda shorts. So again, these are the Lucas. These ones are retailing for $72, and they are available in the letter size ranging for shorts that is available in Judy Blue. So they're small, medium, large, extra large, and then 1X, 2X, and 3X for the plus sizes. No 4X in this one. We do very occasionally get some Judy shorts in a 4X, but these ones are only up to the 3X. And for these ones, we do find that these ones are a little bit more on the snug side. So Christine typically wears a small, and she did size up to a medium for these. Carrie typically wears a medium, and she sized up to the large. Melissa typically wears an extra large or a 1X, and she went for the 1X in these. And then I typically wear either a 2X or a 3X in shorts from Judy, and I can wear the 2X or the 3X in these. So last week when I was doing photos, and on the website photos, I pictured in the 2X, and they were maybe just a little bit snug in the waist, but they did work for me. Whereas today, because I ate breakfast right before I came here, so I have a little bit of, you know, like after eating breakfast bloat, and I did today opt to wear the 3X because the 2X were feeling a little bit snug in the waist for today. So so I did opt for the 3Xs today. So I'm kind of right on that borderline where if I, you know, like some days when I'm having like, you know, a non-bloaty, like thin day, I would wear the 2X, but if I am having, you know, a little bit of bloat or something like that, I would prefer the 3Xs for these ones. So I would say for these ones, you could probably, if you're between Judy Blue sizes, I would probably opt for your larger size or even size up if you're in the straight sizes like Christine and Carrie did for these ones. And with that, that is entirely based on the waist. So if you find you're someone where you have to, you know, if you're sizing for your hips and you find that your waist is usually a little bit big, in that case, you can probably stay with your true size, because for me, all of the need to either size up or down has been in the waist for these shorts. Everywhere else fits really nicely. So let's do a little tour of these guys. You can see, because I am the reason that I typically size down to a 2X a lot of the time is because I'll get some extra fabric in this kind of hip and thigh area. And you can see in the 3X, I have a little bit, but it's not so bad. And like I said, I can kind of wear either size with these ones. But we can see in the front here, we have this whiskering, and the whiskering is really interesting because it seems like it's almost like like the lines are almost like finer and closer together and more narrow than we typically see. And then we do have a little bit of the fading on the thigh. No physical distressing for these ones. And then that is true in the back as well. We have a little bit of that fading in the wash on the bum. And then these are the back pocket flap style, because we can see we have these little flappies on the back pockets, and then the back pocket is still a fully functioning back pocket as well. It just has this little like flap detail just to give it a little extra oomph, give your butt a little bit of extra framing, which actually, dang, when I kind of like pop the leg, these are definitely between the pocket and like the fading, they definitely give a little bit of a pop to the booty. So that is a nice touch, I will not lie. All right, so once again, these are the Lucas, or if you want the whole spiely, they are the Judy Blue High Rise Back Flap Pocket Bermuda Shorts. $72 for these ones, sizes small through 3X. I would say, especially if you find things are kind of tight in the waist for you, I would recommend sizing up. Or if you're in between Judy Blue sizes, you could probably opt to size up. I can wear either the 2X or the 3X on these, kind of depending on the day. Photo day I went for the 2X, but today I opted for the 3X just because it's kind of borderline for these guys. Okay, sweet. Like I said, we still have 2 more tops and we have a dress. So I'll just switch into a different top and we'll be right back. Try not to throw everything on the floor while I'm getting changed. But apparently I can't promise that. Okay, so while not everything, we have a lot of floral launching in today's daily drop, and not everything is floral, but even the stuff that's not floral is still super bright, super springy, a really awesome splash of color, and this t-shirt is definitely fitting into that vibe. So this is the Lisa tee in the shade Hot Pink. This one's retailing for $29, which is a really nice t-shirt price point for just a really nice like a basic cut t-shirt. And this one is going to be available in sizes small through 3X, and this one includes both an extra large and a 1X, which I'm definitely a fan of. This one we say runs true to size. It is like a true to size fit as well. We don't say it's not a little relaxed, it's not like a slimmer fit, it is like a true to size, just classic t-shirt fit. Everyone wears a typical size in this one, so that includes Christine in the small, Carrie in the medium, Melissa is in the 1X, and I am wearing my typical 3X for this one. This one is the Zenana brand. So this is, we have a lot of our like classic t-shirts that we bring back time and time and again are from Zenana. So this one is a little bit different. I would say it's most similar to the Rachel tee with the V-neck, but it is definitely less relaxed fitted than the Rachel tee. And then this one also is not longer in the front or the back, and it doesn't have the size swoopy. This one is straight across front and back. If I do to where we can see just classic t-shirt neckline in the back, but this one kind of definitely reminds me the most of the Rachel tee because it does have that same kind of deeper v-neck, but with a more true to size fit as opposed to the more relaxed fit of the Rachel tee. The sleeves on this one are also really nice length as well. They're a little bit on the longer side for a t-shirt sleeve without being like super long or baggy or anything like that. They're just a really nice, generous cut. And then in terms of the length on this one, again, I would say true to size, classic t-shirt. It's not a super long t-shirt. It's not cropped by any means. It's just hitting like just below my natural hip. So it'd be great to wear over top of things, or if you wanted to tuck it in, because it is a little bit more of a slim fit, it's not going to get bunched up and make weird lumps under your pants when you tuck it in from all the extra fabric. So super versatile. V-necks are super easy to style, great for layering, that kind of thing. So again, this is the Lisa tee in Hot Pink, $29, which is an awesome basics price point. Sizes small through 3X, including both an extra large and a 1X. And we are all wearing our typical sizes, which includes myself in the 3X that I'm wearing right now. All right, one more top to put on for the daily drop. We're getting through her. Okay. So this one is a little more subdued in terms of the color palette, but we're still sticking with like the pinks and the florals theme for this one. So even if it's not as like super bright as the other pieces we've tried on so far. This one still is definitely like on theme for the rest of the daily drop. Okay. There we go. Cute. All right, so this one is the Patty puff sleeve top in navy. This one's retailing for $41, sizes small through 3X, and the median size for this one is a 1X as opposed to an extra large. This one's from the brand Haptics, so the same as the floral tee that I had on at the start of the live. And for this one, we do say that it is true to size. It's not really, it's a slightly relaxed fit, but I wouldn't say it's like super relaxed by any means. Everyone is wearing their typical size for this one. So Christine is in the small, Carrie's in the medium, Melissa opts for the 1X, and I of course am in my typical 3X for this guy.
Hi.
Hello.
I just wanted to bring these to you. We're gonna launch these at 8 o'clock tonight.
Okay.
4 leggings, 4 different styles. They are going to be heavily discounted because there is quite a bit of dye bleed with them until you wash them. So we are going to launch them tonight at 8 o'clock so you can show them if you'd like.
Absolutely.
They will be tagged in a little bit. Show them at the very end of your live.
Can do.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, there's some dye bleed with them like right off the hop, but once they're washed, they'll be fine.
Perfect.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, excuse me, everyone. I am so sorry about that. I just took a sip of coffee to like get the frog out of my throat. So I'm not sure how much of that you guys caught, but we do have some, I just brought a little surprise. We have some leggings that we're going to be launching tonight at 8 p.m. I will get to them at the end of my live just because I have everything to take care of. And they're also not tagged yet in the system. So hopefully by the time I get to them at the end of the live, they will be. They are going to be heavily discounted because they do have a little bit of dye bleed before their first wash, and because of that we're going to be discounting them, which is great. I mean, if you're like me, sometimes I even wash things before I wear them. Honestly, a lot of the time that's not true. It'll be like as soon as I pick it up, because I always do everything as local drop off or local pickup, because I mean I'm here once a week, why wouldn't I? And half the time it's like I'm in the car and I rip the tags off and like put it on and wear it home. So but there are times if I have the ability to exercise more patience, I will wait and wash things first. But yeah, so I will show those guys off at the end of my live. But anyways, we'll just kind of like keep rolling through. Abby, she's already took off, but I'll let her know that you said hi before I leave. And just say, yeah, she just like popped into the side real quick. I don't think you guys even saw her because she just kind of like stayed off to the side. But yeah, anyways, back onto the Patty puff sleeve top. So I am wearing my typical 3X in this one. It's described as a relaxed fit, but I would say it's like more of like a true to size. It's not fitted. It has a bit of like a sweater vibe, especially because it has the waist kind of hem here. The one thing I do want to say about this top for those of us that have bigger upper arms, this one is a little bit tight on the upper arms for me. If I pull the sleeve like down a little bit, it's not too bad, but then you lose some of the puffiness of the sleeve, which is the point. And I have broad shoulders, I am still able to do that. So if you had narrower shoulders and did that, it might work out even a little better for you. But it's not so bad on my left arm, but because I'm right-handed, my right arm is my dominant arm. My bicep, of course, is going to be a little bit bigger on my right arm because that is my dominant arm. And I do find that the cuff on this sleeve is a little bit tight, and there's no elastic to it. So like there's a little bit of budge just from the innate like stretch of the fabric, because the fabric does have a little bit of stretch, but the seam itself, it's a double stitch, like pretty reinforced seam. So there's not really a lot of stretch there. So I will caution the fellow friends who do have larger upper arms that this one might be a little bit snug for you. I personally probably wouldn't wear this just because it is tight enough on my upper arm that it is a little bit like it's digging in. Like I think this would be uncomfortable throughout the day. So I did want to give fair warning, but I do think that if you wanted to size up for the sleeve length or for the sleeve, that would totally be a valid option. So if you typically wear a 2X, if you wanted to size up to the 3X, it will be a little bit more relaxed fit in the body, but I think the sleeve would then accommodate you. But I do want to be totally transparent about that as someone who does have larger upper arms, just as like fair warning. Whereas I haven't heard anything from the other girls whether or not those that don't have the bigger upper arms have any issues, but just wanted to share my experience. But which is too bad because I love the puff sleeves. I think they are so adorable. I think that this would be super cute layered with like a really nice simple vest, or just get that little like puff sleeve coming out would be fantastic. It does have a typical like crew neck kind of style in the back. And then if we get up close, it is described as the color navy. And from a distance, I thought that the background color was gray, but up close you can see it is this kind of like heathered navy color more so than a gray. So I do think that navy for the description of the background of the pattern is a fair color description for this one. So again, this is the Patty puff sleeve top in navy. $41 for this one. Sizes small through 3X. We say slightly relaxed fit, true to size, but as someone with larger upper arms, I am going to warn that the arms are a little bit snug, so you might want to consider sizing up for your arm if you do have larger upper arms. If you don't, then you will be just fine for this one. Oh, exactly. Same thing, Abby. Like, I love the style of this top, but I will be honest that like this sleeve is tight enough that it would bother me working throughout the day, especially because I do a lot of computer work, like moving my mouse and stuff. I can only imagine how much that would start to like dig into my arm after the day. And I don't want people to be disappointed or feel like I'm just like saying whatever sounds good about the clothes to try and sell them. Like, I do want to be honest. And I do think that if you don't have larger upper arms like me, this is an absolutely stunning top. It's so pretty. I wish I didn't have that problem, but I do want to be honest for sure. And like totally agree, Abby. I'm going to be honest about what I think. Same thing about these shorts. Like, I can fit between the 2X or the 3X. I'm going to be honest. I'm not just going to say, oh, I fit the 2X. It's great. Like, because I want to fit the 2X. Like, I will be honest. Okay, perfect. So those were the 3 tops and the shorts. I just have the dress left for today's daily drop. So I will swap into that one and be right back. So we have another dress from the Haptics brand. Okay. Oh, I just feel so springy in this. Like, immediately I feel like it's like Easter. This is just like the most like Easter color palette I can possibly imagine. I'm just gonna tilt. I feel like my phones are just showing the wall a little much, and I'd rather them show more of me. So I'm just gonna tilt them down a little bit. Oh, that's better for sure. Okay, so this is the last piece for today's daily drop that we have here. As a programmer, the elastic sleeves would drive me crazy. Oh, absolutely, Melissa. Yeah, if you're a programmer, I think I do a lot of mouse work and typing. I'm sure you have me beat, absolutely. Totally fair. And I think that's another reason too why, as someone who has like long sleeves, or that has like longer arms and with like sleeves, that's why I'm so tempted to pull them up, because like I use like a mouse pad with a wrist rest. I think that just like having that like on the little like silicone pad on the wrist rest always bugs me, or on the, I use an ergonomic keyboard, so the little like hump things, so totally understand that for sure, Melissa. So everything that I've tried on up till now is going to be available at 1 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time, so 1 p.m. today Alberta time, so in an hour and 35 minutes from now. So it's all today's daily drop. After this piece, things will be a little bit more staggered, but up until now, everything will be launching today at 1 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time, so in just a little over an hour. All right, so the last piece here, this is the Sage Blossom Fit and Flare midi dress in the color fuchsia and blue, which, yeah, absolutely, I would say that's pretty accurate. $49 for this one, which is a great price point for a midi dress like this. I thought for sure it would be $60, so $49, incredible price. Size is small through 3X, with the median size being a 1X for this one. We do describe this one as being true to size. Everyone wears their typical sizes, so Christina the small, Carrie in the medium, Melissa wears the 1X. I'm wearing the 3X with the haptics dresses like this where they do have the elastic waist. I'm kind of in the middle between whether or not I can wear a 2X or a 3X. So last week we launched a dress that was very similar, but for whatever reason I didn't have a 3X on the rack, so I tried on the 2X and it does fit. And I very easily could wear a 2X in this dress as well. The only difference I find fit-wise for myself between the 2X and the 3X is that this elastic waistband is just a little bit, like in the 3X, it's like completely elastic backed around my waist, whereas with the 2X, there's a little bit more of a stretch out, not to the point where it's uncomfortable, because it is a really nice, loose, stretchy elastic, but it is just like slightly more stretched out, so I don't get quite as much of the bunching and crinkling at the waist. But in terms of like fit in the arms and the chest, everything like that, I still find the 2X to be very comfortable. And because of that, I would say that the sizing is flexible on these, where if the size that you want sells out, you could probably safely size down one and be just fine, or even honestly probably size up one. And because the elastic is so elasticy, but a gentle elastic, it's just gonna right where it needs to be. So very easy to kind of go up or down a size with these dresses. I know, Abby, they're so gorgeous. And so I'm glad I'm up close so that I can kind of show off all of the different colors and patterns here. There's so many pretty colors. There's a mixture of pastels and vivids. We've got this super bright yellow, this gorgeous aquamarine. We've got this really pretty lavender purple that's like my favorite color. We've got a more pastel kind of bubblegum pink. We've got a deeper kind of magenta in the back and some fuchsia here, some white. Like there's just a really good mix of stuff that's all very saturated, but different, you know, tones of brightness. We've got some of this orange that almost looks coral when it's got all the pinks in it. This purple one is definitely my favorite one. I keep zooming to like, my eye keeps going to like this flower and this flower because they're my favorite colors. Just super pretty. Of course, we've got a flutter sleeve, which is always my favorite. It is one where the flutter sleeve goes all the way around the whole, like there's not like another, sometimes they'll kind of go a little bit further, but this one of the flutter is right under the armpit. I'm trying to think of how to describe that better, but sometimes instead of being right under it, like the flutter will kind of go more in a triangular pattern down the sleeve, but this one is right around the arm opening here, and it is like a typical crew neck rounded neckline in the front and in the back, and we can see that the pattern and everything continues all the way around the back, and the elastic for the waist goes all the way around the back as well. And it has pockets. As I will say with most dresses like this, they're not the most sturdy pockets. Like you could maybe put this one's deep enough, you could probably put a phone in here pretty safely. I don't know if I would put anything too valuable. I'd be a little worried about my car keys jangling out, but I also just like walk really like bouncily, so that might be my own problem. But if you don't know what to do with your hands because you're an awkward individual like me, you can hide them in your dress and then you don't have to worry about it anymore. So again, this is the Sage Blossom Fit and Flare midi dress in fuchsia and blue. $49 for this one, which I'm still baffled by that. I thought for sure it would be at least 50 some, if not 60. Size is small through 3X. We all wear our typical sizes. I can size down to a 2X if I need, but I would still say true to size. But the sizing is pretty flexible in these. They are quite generous in terms of just like the natural stretch of the fabric and the elastics. So if your favorite size sells out, you could probably size down or even up one and still get away with it pretty safely. Okay, that wraps up everything for today's daily drop. So everything I've tried on for the first half hour of the live here is going to be launching today at 1 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time, which is in an hour and a half. And so with that, we're going to move on to later in the week. Typically, I would go to the Wednesday daily drop and then the Wednesday evening drop. But just for, I mention this all the time, I crave efficiency. I love finding ways to try things on without ever having to like put something on again, or like the least amount of clothing changes I can do. And so for me to do that, I have a dress that is going to be launching on Wednesday evening for Dex, and then I have shorts and a top for Wednesday, and then I can keep the shorts on for the rest of the live until the leggings. So I'm going to do the Dex dress that's launching tomorrow night first, and then I'll come back for the Wednesday daily drop, just because that's going to save me having to put the shorts on twice, and I crave efficiency. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, so for the Dex evening launch, we only have one piece that's available in the full Dex range. It is a really pretty mini dress, so I'm gonna put that one on and be right back. I love that we're finally back in dress season. I have worn dresses to work for the past 2 days in a row, and I love it. There's not a lot of other women at my workplace that wear dresses super frequently, but in general, like I seem to have the like flashiest style of all at my workplace. Like in general, everyone's like, oh my God, you always have such cool clothes. And I'm always like, well, working, you know, part-time, having a little side gig at a boutique definitely helps, that's for sure. But just in general too, my style, it's either like all black or it's a lot of like bright pink and purple, and there's not a lot of in between. And so I definitely get noticed for that. Okay. Here we go. This is the dress from Dex. It does have this little tie. I will tie just a little knot in there to kind of give the full vibe. There we go. So reminder, the Dex launch is Wednesday evening at 8 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. So this dress is going to be Wednesday evening, and then we'll bounce back to the outfit for Wednesday during the day. But this is from Dex. This is the Dance Tonight tiered midi dress in black. This one is going to be retailing for $90, and it is available in the full Dex size range. So for the regular sizes, that is extra small through extra large. And then for the plus sizes, that includes X, 1X, and 2X. So I am wearing the 2X for this one, and I believe we all wear our typical Dex sizes. There we go. Yeah, so Christine opted for the extra small in this one. Carrie is in the medium. Melissa opts for the X. Melissa with Dex, depending on the piece, can either wear the extra large, the X, or the 1X. It really depends. And so she kind of went with like the middle ground for this one in the X. And then I'm wearing the 2X. I honestly could probably size down to the 1X in this one. I am wearing the 2X, but I do find that it does have an elastic waist. It is a very gentle, like smocked elastic. And even with the elastic fully in, it's still like not really hugging me around the middle. Like there's quite a bit of like, I've got an extra probably inch or two here. So I probably could size down even to the 1X. That being said, I still really like the way that the 2X fits me. I think that the length and where the waist hits me is very flattering. Something that I find being a smaller chested person in a size 2X, 3X body is a lot of the times I have a hard time like filling out the top of the dress, but that's why I really appreciate that we have this option here. If you do have a larger chest, you could open this and kind of give yourself more room, or you could kind of play with this if you wanted to try and like push up your cleavage a bit. You could tie this and give yourself, it's not going to make a huge difference right in the bust, but it does make a little bit of a difference to be able to adjust this a little bit. We can see that I do have quite a bit of extra room kind of in the armpit area. The big part of that is, again, just because I don't have the largest chest, but I do think that if I were, I might see if I have the 1X kicking around. If I don't, I won't worry about it too much, but I feel like I could probably size down in this one. I love the length on this dress. It's probably going to be like mid-calf for most folks. For me, it's kind of like in between, just below the knee and mid-calf, so it is kind of like a midi, not quite, on others it might be close to a maxi length. On me, it's more like a true midi length, but again, I'm 6'1". I love that the ruffle goes all the way around the waist, and then we also have this other ruffle that hits, on me it's like right at the booty. On others it's probably kind of like just right under. For others it's probably a little bit more below, but just super cute. I love where they put the tiers on this dress, and it is a really nice, just flouncy back black, like kind of jersey knit fabric for this one. Right? I've been so happy with the price points lately too. It's been a blessing and a curse, of course, because I'm also trying to save up for going on a trip this fall, but it's so tempting because I'm like, oh, like the prices, and a lot of our retailers, we try to source from as many Canadian retailers as we possibly can. So that means that, you know, hopefully our price points just won't change too much. I mean, of course, with the entire supply chain being affected, it's hard to say whether or not how that's going to look. But in terms of like, from like the actual like retailers, like our actual vendors themselves, because we try to source from a lot of Canadians, which shout out Dex, Canadian company, love that. We should still be able to have like nice, reasonable price points, which is great. So again, this is the Dance Tonight tiered mini dress in black. This one is available in the full dex size range of extra small through extra large, and then X, 1X, and 2X. I think what I'll do is, just for the sake of time for my live, is I will see if I can track down the 1X, and I'll maybe post a selfie on the Insiders group after my live to see if, to kind of comparing the 1X and the 2X, because now that it's weird because I had this one on last week for photos and I didn't think anything of it, but now that I have it on and just kind of seeing like the extra room kind of in the chest and the arm area here, I probably could pretty safely size down to a 1X, and especially knowing that Melissa opted for the X instead of the 1X makes me think that I could probably opt for the 1X instead of the X, if that makes sense. All right, so with that, we're gonna bounce back to the daily drop at 1 p.m. for Wednesday. I have a top and a pair of Judy jeans. Oh, I remember this pair. I really like this pair of Judy jeans, actually. This is a cute outfit, so I'm gonna slap that on and be right back. I forgot about these jeans. They're really cute. There's the jeans and the top. Okay. Let's hop right on to it. So we'll start with the top. This top is the brand Hamish. I got some feedback from somebody, it was either last week or 2 weeks ago, that they like when I say the brand names, because a lot of the times, you know, we tend to, if we've bought from one of our like recurring vendors a lot, we know like, oh, in Zanana, I typically wear this size, or in Haptics, I wear this. So that was a great tip, and I'll try to remember when I can. So this top is from Hamish. This is the Riverbend tee in leopard khaki. This one's retailing for $39, sizes small through 3X, with the median size being a 1X. And I am wearing my typical 3X in this one. This one is a slightly relaxed fit, and we all wear our typical sizes. So Christina in the small, Carrie in the medium, Melissa in the 1X, and I'm in my usual 3X. Material in this guy is your typical poly spandex blend. I would say it's very par for the course for a like a t-shirt type top from Hamish. This is definitely like a very familiar feeling material, if that makes sense. In terms of the details, also a lot of like very familiar Hamish details. We do have the V-neck where it does have that exposed serging trim detail on the neckline here. Oh, sorry, apparently my comment thing wasn't updating. There we go. Yeah, I totally agree, Abby. So I'm glad I got that feedback. I've been trying to remember as best as I can every time. We do have more of that exposed serging trim on the top of the sleeve and on the trim around the sleeve edge here as well. I love when we get that kind of like shoulder framing. I feel like it's always such a sporty look. It reminds me a lot of baseball tees, which are like my absolutely favorite kind of t-shirt. So I just love that like extra little bit of like angularness and that just framing. It always gives me like a sporty vibes. For the length for this one, I would say it's a pretty standard length. It's not super long, but it's a little bit longer than, you know, like a typical t-shirt. Maybe we do have some scooping on the edge, and it is like maybe just the tiniest bit longer in the back than the front. It's not quite giving booty coverage for me, but it is still probably longer than average, and on a more petite person, we might actually get some booty coverage for this one, but not quite for myself. I love this kind of like khaki, did we describe it as leopard print? We did. I'm not sure what cat this actually is. I used to be really good at knowing, like, I could look at a print. I loved big cats when I was a kid, and I could tell you like, oh, that's cheetah, oh, that's leopard, oh, that's, or like specifically this kind of like spotted leopard versus blah, blah, blah. Not so much anymore. But I do like that it is that animal print, but it's not like black printing on it. It's more of like a charcoal gray, as you can see. So it gives it just a little bit more of a subdued look. Like it almost looks like it has that like vintage kind of vibe, especially like when you stand back. It just has a little bit more of that muted tone, which I think makes it look, it kind of gives it that like grungy or like punk kind of edge, which I really like because that is something I wear in my personal style quite a bit, especially with like the wash of this jean particularly. They definitely pair super well together. So again, this is the Riverbend tee in leopard khaki, $39 for this one, sizes small through 3X, and we all wear our typical sizes, which is myself in the 3X, and $39 for this one. And then let's get to these jeans as well, because these are also going to be launching on Wednesday afternoon. These are the Vinces, or the Judy Blue High Rise Vintage Wash Double Cuff Boyfriend Jeans. $94 for these ones, and we have them available in 0 through 15, and then for plus sizes we have 14 up through 22, which is pretty typical for Judy sizing. For these ones, I am in my usual 18. It looks like everybody else wore their typical sizes, so Christine in the 3, Carrie's in the 9, Melissa's in the 14, and I'm in my usual 18 for these ones. Lengthwise for these, I don't know why I can never find where the inseams are on here, but they come with a little bit of a rolled cuff, and I definitely opted to leave the cuff rolled on mine just because if I unroll the cuff on me, they're longer, but they're still not quite long enough for me to wear them as like I would say these are like a slim straight. They're not a skinny jean, but they're not quite like a full straight leg either. They're kind of like a slim fit if you're to unroll them. I definitely prefer them with the cuff rolled up though, but because like it comes rolled, but it's not stitched by any means. So if you wanted to unroll it and wear it as a slim leg, you could absolutely just iron out the way that that is folded in. It's not pressed or anything like that, so it is going to be completely reversible if you have an iron. Oh, absolutely, Melissa. This is definitely giving 90s vibes, which I am very here for. I was a bit young to enjoy because I am a 90s baby, but I was born in 92. So like 90s fashions, I was a literal child, so I didn't get to partake. And so my like high school years was kind of like that Y2K and then bleeding into like the 2008, like I was an emo kid, of course I was, or scene kid, so like that very like My Chemical Romance with like the swoopy black hair and all that stuff. But I didn't get to like do 90s grunge, but then as an adult, that's like, I love that style. And like these jeans absolutely give 90s grunge. They are a little bit more of a relaxed, like, they're described as a boyfriend jean, aren't they? Yes, they are. These are a boyfriend jean. And I really like the way that my favorite pair of jeans of all time from Judy Blue are a boyfriend jean. They're a like black like vintage wash. They're super shredded and stuff. And so I'm really excited about these because as soon as I put them on, I'm like, oh, these feel just like my favorite jeans, just without all the shredding. And I love the cool vintage wash where it has that kind of like yellowed effect. And yeah, agreed. Totally gives that 90s vibe. So with that, I do like with these jeans that it is that 90s grungy vibe without being physically distressed. All of the distressing is in that kind of vintage wash, which is nice because it's a little bit more accessible for people who maybe don't like that physical distressing, or people that are DIYers that want to do it themselves. But it is like a more accessible way to do that kind of like distressed look without having like actual like holes in your jeans, because some people really don't like that, or if they like to wear jeans to work and maybe their workplace is like no holes in the jeans, then they can still make it work. Oh my god, Melissa, I mean clearly you can see the black hair is still here. I still do thick eyeliner. It's just that I didn't know how to do like a good wing when I was a teenager, so I just did the classic, like took the big pencil and like smudged it all over my bottom eye and just had it everywhere. So that was my look until I was probably like 24 and I learned how to do actual makeup, but totally relate for sure. All right, so once again, these are the Judy Blue High Rise Vintage Wash Double Cuff Boyfriend Jeans, aka the Vince. These ones are going to be retailing for $94, and they're available in sizes 0 through 15 for the regular sizes, and then 14 through 22 for the plus sizes. And everyone wears their true Judy Blue size in these, which includes myself in my usual 18 for these guys. And like I said, I'm very excited because my favorite pair ever of Judy Blues is also boyfriend cut. Those ones I purchased a long time ago in a 20, and I wore them on the weekend and like they still fit, but they're definitely like a little bit big just between me losing weight and them being very well loved. I can't even fathom how many times I've worn those jeans because I've had them for probably 3 years. I had them before I started modeling here. And so I'm very excited to find another pair in like that same fit because they are chef's kiss, my favorite ever. And again, this outfit is going to be launching Wednesday at 1 p.m. at Mountain Standard Time. So in about 15 minutes and then a whole day. So tomorrow. Okay, perfect. We have one plus piece that is going to be launching tomorrow. For the Thursday daily drop, I have one top that I'll be able to try on. And then after that, it's just the weekend launch. So let me go put on the top for Thursday. So this one is another one of the Katie flutter sleeve tops. We have the pink one, the pink and scarlet, or sorry, the teal and scarlet one that is launching today. And so this is the same cut, different colorway. This is the teal and pink, and this one's going to be launching on Thursday. So different colorway, different pattern completely, which I like because they're both teal backgrounds, but they give completely different vibes despite having the same kind of like tealy colored background. Because again, this one only has the pink and then a little bit of white for the like outlining and the contrast, whereas the teal and scarlet has a lot more different colors mixed in. There's definitely more of a contrast, whereas these ones I feel like are a little bit more complementary colors. The actual like floral print itself is totally different, so like super different vibes for sure. So this one is retailing for $39, which is the same price as the other Katie floral sleeve. This is the brand Haptics, which I typically wear a 3X in, but can occasionally size down to a 2X, especially in the dresses. For their tops, I definitely prefer my usual 3X, and that is the case for this one as well, which is a slightly relaxed fit. We all wear our true sizes, so Christine in the small, Carrie in the medium, Melissa is in her usual 1X, and I am in my typical 3X for this one. I won't go into too many details because I did already talk about this top earlier for the one in the today's live, but just do a fun little twirl so we can see the full pattern. And then I didn't check on this one, I did on the dress, but this one also, just for clarity, the ruffle is, instead of kind of coming further down and having a bit of like open space here, the ruffle is right around the arm opening here. So that seems to be the case for all of the Haptics pieces with flutter sleeves that are launching this week, which is only 3, but I mean, that's still like, for 1 week, that is a lot, which I'm a fan, as I've mentioned many times. I love flutter sleeves. I just love this color combination as well. This specific shade of teal I really like. This is actually very close to like my husband's favorite color. So I'm kind of like debating, I'm like, do I buy this? Because I know it's his favorite color, but I don't know if it's necessarily his favorite color for me to wear. And it's not a color I typically wear. But I don't know, I'll have to think about it. This is the one, this one comes out on Thursday. I'll grab the one that does come out today. Because they are similar but different. And actually, now that I see them, they're not quite the same shade of teal either. So the one that comes out today is the teal and scarlet that I'm holding here. And you can see actually it is just a little bit of a deeper teal. This one actually, this is probably like pretty bang on to like my husband's favorite color. This one's a little bit brighter. And then the one that I'm wearing here where it is the slightly brighter teal with the pink and with like less colors, different, larger floral print. This one is for Thursday. They are both in the same price range low. They are both $39 and they are both available sizes small through 3X. Both fit identically the same, that kind of thing. Great question, because yeah, it is a bit when they're both the Katie floral and they're both teal and something. So I'm glad you asked to clarify. But this specific one where it's a little bit brighter and less diversity of color, this one is Thursday. So again, this is the Katie floral ruffle top in teal and pink. $39, sizes small through 3X, and we all wear our typical sizes, which means the 3X for myself. Okay, perfect. I don't have anything for Thursday evening, and I don't think I have anything for the Friday daily drop either. No, I do not. So that means I can jump on to our Saturday launch, and we have like the cutest t-shirts ever. Abby, you're gonna love these t-shirts. They're that really cool, like acid wash vibe. So I'm very excited to try those ones on. We also have a pair of Second Skin biker shorts launching on Saturday, but they are only small through extra large. So unfortunately those do not work for me, but I will throw on one of the Sienna washed short sleeve tees and come back. I could pair them with, I probably will afterwards, but I was gonna say I could pair them with the leggings that we're launching today at 8 o'clock, but just because we were talking about like cool 90s vibes, like acid wash, like vintage vibes, I really want to try on these t-shirts with the jeans I'm wearing right now because they're just like that perfect vibe. I'm obsessed with the whole outfit, and I'm just obsessed with the color range that we have for these tees too. There's so many different colors available. We've got like pastels, but they've all got that acid wash vibe. We've got pastels, there's brights, there's darks, there's neutrals. There's just so many good options. Okay. So like this just makes sense. Like the acid, like vintage wash jean with the vintage wash t-shirt, just like they're so perfect. Hello, Jolene. Hello. Good morning. You're just in time to see some adorable tees that we're launching on Saturday. So these are the Sienna washed short sleeve tops, and we have, what are we naming the colors? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different, 5, 6. Can I count? 6. Perfect. Okay, so I am wearing, what do we call this color? Marlin. Interesting. I think it's because it's kind of like mostly blue. It definitely pulls a little bit like indigo, like a purpley blue. So I am wearing Marlin. We also have the, what are we calling this one? Why do I not see, oh, is the pink one a different one? I thought it's the same. Interesting. So this one is not, unless I just need to scroll. I don't see this one listed on here, but it must be going at the same time. This is the candy pink, which I love. We've got Kelly green, also adorable. Not a color I would normally think to do like a vintage wash, like acid wash thing in, but it looks super cute. The coral, which, come on, I'm obsessed with the coral. Orange is a tough color for me. I'm a little bit, what do we think? Do we think that color works for me? Because I'm so cool toned, oranges are really hard for me. They tend to wash me out because I tend to lean pink. Sometimes they just make me look kind of like bleh, but this one's bright enough. I think I might be able to get away with it because I'm obsessed with the coral one. We have the light olive, so this is for more neutral, and like this one absolutely screams 90s vintage, like especially like imagine this having like a Silver Sun Pickups logo on it or something. Like absolutely, you could do some really fun DIY with this as well. And then of course our classic, do we call this just black or what do we, ash black? Okay, I was gonna say, because it's not like a true black, of course, because it's got that kind of vintage wash effect, but it is like, even without that, I would say it's more of like a dark, like almost black, but same thing, like this just looks like it should be a band shirt or have some cool patches or something on it like that. Just super, super cute. Right, Jolene? Thank you for saying the orange looks good because it's my favorite one. So these are on Saturday, Abby. So all of these t-shirts are going to be launching on Saturday at 1 p.m. and we have like the full size range for all of the colors, I believe. I'm wondering if maybe we pulled the pink one because there was a delay or something, but I do have it here. So, but there are available in sizes small through 3X with both a 1X and an extra large available. So we have like a really awesome size range. They're also Zanana brand as well. I thought I'd throw that out. And they're gonna be retailing for $39 for these ones. Like, I'm still just absolutely obsessed. Like I love, again, we have like kind of like deeper colors with the Marlin and the black. We have something a bit more neutral with the olive one, which this one absolutely, I think this one is the most like 90s screaming for sure, especially if it's like that 90s kind of like eclectic girls. If you have one of those, the Shirley mesh shirts, especially the one that had like the roses and the cheetah print, if you layered that under this, that would just be the most like Alanis Morissette coated outfit ever. I would be obsessed. I didn't unfortunately get that one. I got the one that was like cream with the hearts. That would still totally work. I think that would work really well with like this one and just be like a more colorful version, but not as much the grunge. The Kelly green, I'm also super obsessed with because this is not a color I would ever think to do the vintage wash treatment to. And then as we know, I am just like floored by this one. I must have it. I will definitely be bringing this one home. So again, these are the Sienna washed short sleeve tops in various different colors. They're going to be retailing for $39. They're all available in sizes small through 3X with both an extra large and a 1X. They are more of a boxy, not quite like super oversized. I would describe them more as like a true relaxed fit. They're a little bit of a boxier fit. I realized I didn't actually talk much about the actual fit. I was just like, here's the sizes, here's the price, they're cute. They are kind of the same length front and back, but just because of the way that they're cut with a little bit of a higher shoulder, it pulls up just a little bit in the front, but it's not actually shorter in the front, it's just the way that it sits on the chest. But they are like a really nice length as well. They're not super cropped, but they're also not like super long as well. I like that they have a little bit of a boxier T like shoulder. As I like to talk about all the time, I am a huge fan of tying my tops up in a knot and wearing them as a crop top, especially with something like a high-waist jean or a high-waisted skirt. And that is probably my first thought for these, so I'm just going to give it the test, because if you are also someone who likes to do that with your tops, I tend to like boxier fit cuts like this, because I find that I love the boxiness of the shoulders, and then the way it just like pulls in at the waist when you pull it in. Like, look at that. Like, it's like immediately, like my waist looks way tinier than it actually is, just because of like the angle where it pulls forward. And I like that because it's not a super long, I don't have this giant knot to deal with either. It's just like a really nice, like contained little knot that's not going to get in my way. And if I kind of like fold and play with it in the back, I'm going to get that same just really nice like swoopy effect. So I'm definitely a fan of these. They're super, super cute. So again, these ones are going to be launching on Saturday at 1 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time, in a really awesome size range for everybody. Outside in the field, I had to get in the shade to see the colors. I mean, they're such gorgeous colors. I hope the camera, it seemed to do the orange justice and the Kelly green, so I hope that they pick up as beautiful as they are in person. But yeah, I love that you had to find shade, because yeah, if you're seeing it in like the sun, it's definitely not going to be the same. You can always rewatch it too, Abby, but as soon as I saw these, I just immediately thought, I'm like, I think Abby's going to like, there's a lot of stuff where I'm just like, this is going to be Abby's kind of style for sure. Okay, sweet. For the last final part of my live, I had a nice little visit from Christine near the beginning of my live. We have some leggings that we're going to be launching tonight at 8 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time, so later this evening. And these leggings are going to be at a heavily discounted price, because these leggings have a bit of a bleed issue in terms of the dyeing. From what we've seemed to have found, it's only for the first wear or two before they've been washed. So if you wash these before you wear them, they probably won't even be an issue for you, but we do find there is quite a bit of dye bleed and dye transfer for these in the beginning. So that is why we are putting them at such a heavily discounted price. I have a few different styles here. Excuse me. I'm just trying to find them all so that I can try them on. Might be a bit of a pain because I do have that second skin bandage on my shin, and it tends to be, that's why I've been wearing dresses, other than just being happy that it's dress weather, is that dresses are a lot easier for not having to try and pull pants over that second skin bandage. But oh no, we're good actually. That was not too shabby at all. Actually, I'm gonna leave this top tied too so I can show off the leggings. So I'm just gonna try on the one style, and then I'll I'll hold the other ones up for us to see. Okay, so I have 3 styles here. I'm gonna check and see actually if these are in the system now, because they weren't when they first got brought to me, but they might be by now. Okay, today is the 15th. Okay, perfect, we do. So these are, because we're selling them at such a heavily discounted price, oh, that is a different style. It just doesn't even come in plus. Okay, I'll grab that too. These are going to be final sale just because we are selling them at such a discounted price. So there's going to be 4 styles available. We have the Halo High Waist Pocket Tummy Control Leggings in black, the Serene High Waist Active Legging in navy, the Gravity High Rise Legging in black, and the Essence Mid-Rise Legging in black. So let me figure out which ones I'm wearing here. I pulled them up too high preemptively, assuming they were going to be shorter than they were, but they're actually like not super short on me, which is nice. So these that I am wearing, these are the Halo High Waist Tummy Control in black. These ones do have some nice little side pockets, which I am always a fan of on leggings. It's not a huge pocket, probably couldn't hold much more than like a card or your keys, but I mean, sometimes it's really nice even to just bring like your debit card out on a run so you can run and like grab a coffee and then run back with your coffee. Yeah, so these ones, I said these were the Halo high waist pocket tummy control leggings. These ones, oops, clicked the wrong thing. These ones are available in sizes small through 3X, and that includes both an extra large and a 1X available. And these are going to be $20. Again, these leggings will bleed. We highly, highly, highly recommend you wash them first before wearing them to avoid dye transfer onto your other clothes. That is why they are at such a heavily discounted price. So again, I'm wearing the 3X for these ones. Definitely would say true to size, these fit really, really nicely. I like how the waist, it's high-waisted, but it's not like super, like I have high-waisted leggings that are like all the way up to here. So they're like a medium to high waist, I would say. They are tummy control, but they're not like tight, like they're not squeezing me in, they're not muffin topping me at all, they're not like cutting me in half. They are just a really nice, soft, stretchy fabric. I also love that they've got the little seam that goes around, it comes around the top. I always love leggings that do that because it just makes your butt look so good. And I'm definitely a fan of having my butt look good. So again, these are the Halo high waist pocket tummy controls, and they will be $20. I also have, these are the Essence mid-rise leggings in black. These ones are only going to be available in sizes small through extra large. They're not available in plus. These ones also have a pocket on the side. I think they are a very similar legging to the ones I am currently wearing, but they have, this one has more of like an enforced, I would say, if you speak Lululemon, these ones have more of like a not Wonder Under, these ones are more like the Wonder Trainer, whereas these are more like a Wonder Under or even an Align, where they have like the wider, less holdy-inny waistband, and then they have the pockets as well. And because these are mid-rise, they are going to be a little bit lower of a rise than the ones I'm currently wearing. We also have, these are the Gravity high-rise leggings in black. So these are definitely like your Wonder Unders for sure. These are just a nice like plain legging. They have the wider band on the butt. It kind of looks like they do that little bit of like the V thing a little bit. Not quite the little scrunch, but almost. And these are just a plain high-waisted legging. These ones do not have any pockets on the sides. And then we also have the last pair. Oh, I'm putting them in the wrong order. The last pair we have are the Serene high-waist active legging in navy. These ones look like they are, again, very similar to the ones that I just showed. No pocket or anything like that. These ones are just kind of more like a plain Wonder Under with no pockets or anything like that. And they are in the color navy. So I'll go over the pricing again really quickly. So the Halo high waist pocket legging, tummy control leggings that I'm wearing will be $20. The navy Serene active leggings will be $20. The Gravity high-rise leggings, which are the ones that are the more plain ones without the pocket, will be $20. And then finally, the Essence mid-rise leggings in black, which are only available sizes small through extra large, will also be $20. So all of the leggings in all of the sizes, all the different styles are going to be retailing for $20. Again, these are heavily discounted because they will bleed and there will be dye transfer until they are washed. So we highly recommend washing them before wearing. But other than that, there's no other defects. It is just the bleeding and the dye transfer. So if you wash these, then definitely just a little bit of extra work for an awesome pair of leggings at an incredible price point of $20. So again, those will be going live today at 8 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. So keep your eyes out this evening to grab and score, and then said scrab. Grab yourself, score yourself a sweet pair of $20 leggings. Again, nothing physically wrong with them other than the fact that they will bleed and dye transfer. So give them a good wash, maybe even 2 just for good measure, and then they're going to be perfectly fine. So again, that's going to be it tonight at 8 p.m. And other than that, that is everything for me for the week. So thank you everyone who tuned in and contributed, who got excited about these t-shirts like I did. Once again, my name is Michelle. I am the size 3X model here at Lavender and Lace. like scrab. I'm gonna scrab it. It's almost like ugh, it reminds me of like scab though, although scarab, which is like pretty. But anyways, my name is Michelle. I'm the 3X model here at Lavender and Lace Boutique. I go live every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time. I try on all of the plus size pieces that are launching in the week, or anything that, even if it's not like explicitly labeled as plus size, if we think that it will work for someone who has a body type or size similar to mine, I'll try it to make sure, just because it says, you know, medium on the label, if it actually fits my body, then who cares, right? Like, it's just wear what you're gonna wear. So if that is something that interests you, you can find me here next week or any other week pretty much, exactly where you found me here on Facebook or Instagram. And again, I go live at 11 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time every week to try on all the plus size clothes. So thanks for joining me, and I will see everybody next week. Thanks guys, bye-bye.